It's my job to email everybody. Okay, so I am the archives manager for the St. Lawrence County Historical Association, and as such, I come across a lot of interesting information about our history. And recently we presented a program at the Historical Association in recognition of Archives Month, where we presented some poems from our history in St. Lawrence County, historic poets, and I had John and Dale and Max Coots come over and join us and read from their work, and it was really quite delightful. So I read this poem there, and I'm going to read it again because I kind of like it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like anybody else does. Not sure why, but it's about Joseph Bonaparte. Joseph Bonaparte, brother to Napoleon, king of Naples and Spain, and North Country gentleman. Ah, you didn't know that he came to Jefferson County in the 18-teens, called himself the Count de Soubillet, and bought a massive tract of land to play and hunt. He caught the fancy of Annette Savage, a Quaker and cousin of Pocahontas, and they shared sweet little Caroline, a bastard princess. How many women looked into their children's eyes and told them their daddy was a big, important, powerful man, and someday he would come back for them. Joseph missed his life in Europe, missed his children and wealth, his royal life, and when things cooled down, he went back. He left his North Country playground, his Indian savage, his bastard girl. He sailed across the ocean, leaned into the African winds, craving a Corsican meal and a fair, supple whore. His lover and child left to fend for themselves, and I think this isn't the whole story of Joseph Bonaparte, brother to Napoleon. He was the king of Spain, installed soon after the revolt of Spanish peasants and the slaughter of poor people who wanted to stop Napoleon's push into Spain. Francisco Goya commemorated these revolts in his paintings. I studied them in university. The execution of the 3rd of May, 1808. The figures of Napoleon's army are faceless, and the peasant, his arms raised, a look of horror on his face, stands before a firing squad. The execution of innocents by Napoleon's men. And Joseph, the king of Spain, arrived in America laden with stolen jewels, paid his land agents in diamonds for his 20,000 acres and the lake he called Diana, for the Roman goddess, called like Bonaparte now and ever since. And Caroline married a local fellow, bore his children, and eventually was received into the court of Napoleon III. But her father never returned for her, and she lived and died in relative obscurity, buried in an unassuming grave, the Princess Caroline, daughter of a Bonaparte king and a Powhatan woman. Her story is the stuff of legends. Her story is a fairy tale with an unhappy ending. And Joseph, the king, Bottle Joe, the lovable, drunken older brother to Napoleon, spent his last days in exile, died in Florence at 76. On his lips, the regrets of a dying man. Vive la France, vive l'America, vive la Caroline.